Welcome to Burns Travels. It's not a travel day, it's a work day, and I'm working on the Jeep. Basically, I was driving down the road, my brake lights came on, my ABS came on, my heel descent came on, and my traction control came on. Then I started to lose power. I wondered what it was. Didn't know because I'm no mechanic, okay? But it was all doing with ABS, which I knew that much at least. So I went online and I found some problems, minor issues, and basically everybody's saying it's the sensors that are on the axles. So I went to AutoZone, I went to what's the other one? Napa Auto Parts, and I went to another automotive place, and all their readers could not read anything on the ABS. They were just standard stuff. So I just said, what the heck? I'm gonna buy both front sensors, both rear sensors, and be done with it and change them all. It's almost like a light bulb. You know, you change one tail light because it's out, and the next month, the next tail light's out, so you gotta do it again. So I just do them both at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna do all of them at once. The front are different than the rear, but for what I understand, they're not that difficult. And if they are, well, then I'll have somebody else do it. So let's do that, and I'll show you them when we get to where I got to go to work on this stuff. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, I'm getting ready to take the driver's side rear sensor out. So let me show you how it's done. Okay, it's pretty simple. I'm actually going to pull it out with the plastic piece connected to it. It'll be a little difficulty. Then I'll take it apart when it's out. Then we'll put the new one in and go from there. So let's get that done. All right, hopefully you can see that. Where it is right here. This is the sensor. So you got to take out this bolt on the bottom, right there. Once you get it, you should be able just to do this right here. Go. There's the nut. Then we just got to pull it out. But there's little tabs here that you can take out, push out to help you have more access to them. Loosen them up a little bit, then you just pull this sensor out. And as it comes out, just like that. Now let's bring this camera down so I can show you. Okay, I'm gonna have to push a screwdriver up here to get this piece unlocked. This will pop up, and then I'll push this down and pull it apart. Let's see if it does it. See, pull it back, and you got to pull that down, take it out. So again, this will be like this. In here, you'll push it up through here. This red piece will pop out. You squeeze down and pull it out. Okay, I'm putting in a Duralast piece. We're just going to do that, put that sensor in there. Here's the nut. Here's the extension. This doesn't always work. Sometimes it falls. Looky there, the first time. Tell me I didn't get lucky on that one. Since it's at an angle, I don't want to strip it. So I'll take this piece and I'll just put it in like this. Get it going. The reason I'm trying to be careful is because there's a drain right about 4 feet from me, and I really don't want to lose the nut in the drain. So okay, now that it's finger tight, I come back, I put this piece in, then I'll take the socket, the little bitty kitty socket, put it in there, change the direction so I can tighten instead of loosen, and then I'll just tighten it up. Not super tight, just snug. Then I'll take the piece that we had and I'll put it in there, and what will happen, make sure I got it in right. That's right. This piece will go in. When you have big hands, sometimes it's a problem. Once you get it in there, you push the red tab all the way in, the rear is done. Pretty simple. That took, with what you saw in video, maybe, I don't know, 5 more minutes, if that. So maybe 10 minutes on each side actually doing this. Okay, 10 minutes to do both sides. Let me show you where they were located. Okay, they're located, this is the passenger side right here. You have to take the tires off to get to this stuff and everything. So they're right there, one bolt holds it in, and then you pull it out and you do what I showed you with the tabs. The other one is right there, okay? Do the same thing and do the same thing with the tabs as I showed you. Now it's off to the front ones, which are going to be a little interesting. So let me show you that. The front ones are a little more complicated, and I'll show you why. It's because you got to take the brake off, and then you see this wire, it's right here. You see that wire right there? It goes up and around and inside, so I'm gonna have to have fun with that one. And then it comes up here, goes up here, goes up here, and then I'm gonna show you where it's at. You're going up in here, it's right behind the framing of the shock. How fun is that? So that's what I gotta work on next. So let's do that. Okay, I haven't even got the front one of the sides done yet, but I want you to see what you're getting into. One side hasn't really been done with except the tire taken off. The other one, it's been taken off, and a few other things. So let me show you that over here on the driver's side, the one that I just took the tire off only. Okay, as you can see, the brakes are still on and everything. So this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to take off your brakes like you do in a brake change. So if you do for that, you might as well do it since you're off. I didn't think about that, and I actually have the front brakes. So that'd be another video. So anyways, if you're gonna do this and you need front brakes done, get them done while you're doing that. You're already there. Second thing, you're gonna take this off. The bracket that holds the brakes on. I don't know what it's called. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. And then you gotta take the disc off. When you get the disc off, you have access to the ABS sensor. Let me show you on the other side now. It's not really hard, it's just, takes a little time, that's all it does. Just takes some time. And let me show you the side that already has everything off on it. Okay, everything's off. You know, completely open here. You're gonna need some Loctite for these, because if that comes off while you're driving, you're gonna lose your wheel. So make sure you got Loctite on these bolts that are right here. And then you're gonna need, because here's the ABS sensor right there, and I've taken the one bolt out. You see the blue? That's blue Loctite. So they want you to have that on there. There's a reason. So I just went and got me a little package of that. So far, it's not been overwhelming. It hasn't been hard because I've done brakes before and all that kind of stuff. I had to put the disc on myself when I did that brake job last time. But a little time, and it's a little hot, but I'm gonna get it done. And when I get all this done, I'll go ahead and I'll raise the Jeep up more. I'll do the oil change on it since I'm here. I'll get the oil change done, and then I'll be done for the day. And I'll probably go do something else. I don't know what, but I'm always doing something. Either traveling, working, or working on Jeep. The Jeep's not always a problem because I have 100,000 miles on this thing and it's doing great. So the sensor's going out 100,000 miles. Hey, who cares? It's 100,000 miles on it and it runs great. So let's continue. I got it in, as you can see right here. It's in, and we're gonna bring it through. Just make sure you use your Loctite on these two bolts right here, these two bolts, and the one that's in there just a little bit. So let me show you. Right there, you Loctite those bolts so you can put them in so they don't come off. I don't know what time it is while we're walking over to this driver's side piece, but I know this much, it's getting hotter, and I'm just about done with this driver's front side. I got all the other ones done. Then I got to put the tires on. Well, I got to drain the oil, then put the tires on, and I'll be done. But I know it's close to probably 95 right now. Anyways, a little warm, but we're getting it done. Here's the disc. That caliber came off of here and here. I had to, here's the sensor. I have to take all this stuff off before it goes up here, around here, then comes up behind the shock. How much fun. All right, I'm getting ready to do something else. Here's a piece you may have to take off or loosen up. Let me show you. Okay, here is the brake, here is the sensor line. As you can see, they're clipped in right here, and there is a bolt that's right here. You're gonna take this bolt off, and this whole piece comes out and pulls out like this, and you'll cut these two clips off with a pair of needle nose pliers. You can do that because the new wire comes with these clips to push back in here. So, and the good thing, not a good thing, but a smart thing to do is before you take all this apart, take a picture to see how the sensor goes through the system here, so you have a map for when you go to put it back together. Just a little tip. Anyway, so I'm gonna do that right now. I'll take that out. Clips I was telling you about, right down there at the bottom, right there. Those clips right there are the ones you can cut because it's right on the sensor, and you'll get new ones. That's what I just did. I cut the clip sensor. Anyways, I'm gonna do the other one, and then I'll have more free play to unhook the clip that's up in there. Okay, I got it all out and everything, so let's show you what I'm doing now. Find it and bring it in, and then bolt it down. You use Loctite with that. Then you bring it out, and it's actually gonna go underneath this piece. The other side, I may have to disconnect the piece and just rerun it. That's not really a whole lot to do. It's just I disconnect it. Anyways, I run it, clip to these things, and go up here, and I'm gonna bring it up here, and I'm gonna clip it in, actually up here, and I'm gonna clip it into the piece. So let me do that. Okay, I'm all done. I have everything done except to have the tires put on, and I'm not gonna film that, of course, but anybody knows how to put a tire on. Maybe, I don't know, some people don't know how to change a tire, so maybe I need to do a video just on that. I don't know, but anyways, I'm gonna show you what it's done. It's completed. Again, I am not a mechanic. I just understand that if I can take it off and put it back on, anybody can do that just about. So that's what I did. I basically took off all the ABS sensors because they were making all those flickers on my dash, and everywhere I went, again, they said that's what they were, so I just replaced them all. It cost about 25, 30 bucks a sensor, so it was like 112 bucks for all four of them. It wasn't a bad investment after 100,000 miles, I'm assuming, to just get them fixed. So this is what it looks like. This be a little loose like this. They're actually not going to fall off when the caliper actually presses in right here. This actually comes in closer. That's how the brakes work. But you can see it was actually right here inside this piece way back in here. It's hidden, but you had to take it all off to do it. So there's that. Here's where it hooks up to, goes around, comes up, and it winds up being behind here, the shock. The other one's in the same place, so I'm not going to show you that one. But yeah. All right, here's the deal. I'm done with all four sensors. The rear sensors on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 2 on being difficult. The front sensors, maybe a 6 to 8, depending who you are. It just took more time. It really wasn't hard. It's just time consuming, that's all. So just remember, the front are a little bit harder than the rear. So if you had the problem and all your lights come on, your ABS, your brake lights,
your brake light comes on, your heel descent, and then your traction control all start popping on and you start losing power, it could be these. But here's the thing, I haven't gone out and driven this thing yet because I still got to do an oil change and put the tires back on. After that, we'll see if I did.
Those big old tires right there, they're 33s, 18-inch rims.
They're a little heavy, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the Jeep down far enough that I can just sit there, use my feet, my toes to help lift the tire as I put it onto the thing. It actually helps it out real easy. You know, I'm an old dude, but I still get the job done. Anyways, let's continue. All right, so a little overview. After I got done doing the front sensors and the rear sensors, I decided to take it out for a drive to see if they activate or they come on like they were doing. Well, I drove about 35 miles to Home Depot because I needed to get some ant killer, and I've driven back. The sensors haven't come on. Now, before I did it, they weren't coming on all the time. They were just popping up in the weird places, and I wasn't doing nothing crazy. I was just going down the highway. So we'll just see how that works out. But I think I solved the problem. Again, if I haven't said it already, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say the backs are probably a 2 because it's really easy. The front, they were a pain because I had to take the tire off, had to take the brakes off, I had to take the caliper off, had to take the disc off, I had to take the piece that holds the caliper on for the brakes just so I can get access to the sensor where it was at. And then that was a little fun. It wasn't hard, it was just taking stuff off and putting it back on. And of course it was hot, you know, so it's actually, looking at the dash, it's saying it's 98 degrees right now, and it's 3:50 in the afternoon, and about 2:30 is when I got done. So it was probably 96 degrees at that time, but it's hot, but at least it's dry. If it's humid, I'd be dying right now. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll put notes in the bottom what I did, and all I did was go to the AutoZone and buy the parts there. And like I said, I think earlier they were 125 bucks, and it cost me 50 bucks to get them done myself at that garage. It had the lift and everything, so really inexpensive. I think if I took it to a dealer, it'd probably been $300-400 for them to do that, but it cost me $200 for the sensors, the time at the place to do it, and also, of course, an oil change. So I think oil change, sensors, 200 bucks. I think that's a pretty good deal. And it took me 5 hours from start to finish, 9:30 to 2:30. So not bad. It was just a long day, a learning experience. Again, though, I am not a mechanic. So I just like to make sure everybody knows I am not a mechanic. So anything you see in this video may not be a mechanic way, but it's the way I did it, and it seems to work, and that works for me. So anyways, thanks for watching, and hope everybody's having a great day.